I'm a guy from New Zealand, and I recently came across your clips on TikTok. The stories instantly reminded me of my own experience that happened many years ago here in New Zealand, and I thought you might enjoy.
New Zealand?
Anyway, when I was in my early 20s, my young family and I moved into a big old farmhouse on a dairy farm where I'd just taken a new job. The house was built around 1900, and just across the drive sat an even older, crumbling homestead from around 1870, which is very old by New Zealand standards. Between the two houses ran a line of towering old trees that made the place feel eerie at the best of times, especially at night. The farmhouse was cold, creaky, and far too big for 2 adults and 2 children under 3, but it was home. It didn't take long for strange things to begin. Shadows shifting in empty rooms, doors moving on their own, and even the sound of a young girl's voice.
Oh, no, thank you.
My partner and I chalked it up to nerves and the atmosphere of an old house. Working the dairy farm meant early starts.
There's a lot of farms, isn't there, in New Zealand? It's a big farming community,
big farm,
is that correct?
jobby, yeah, I think so. I was up most mornings around 3:30am to bring in 850 cows for milking.
Wow.
I had been there about 3 months when things escalated. One morning, following my usual routine, checked on my baby son before heading to the cowshed. All was fine. Then I quietly opened the door to my daughter's room and froze. Standing on the far side of her bed was a figure, hunched over, staring intently at her as she slept. The figure slowly straightened up, revealing an old man with a beard. He turned his gaze towards me and then, just like that, he vanished. Shaken, I tried to rationalise it as fatigue from the long days of calving season. Later that morning, I mentioned it to my boss and co-worker, who just laughed it off. But from that moment on, both my partner and I started seeing glimpses of this old man and sometimes a young girl around the house. Not long after, my boss had some old friends visit, people who actually had lived on our farmhouse 15 or 20 years earlier. Their very first question to him was, "Have you seen the old man and the little girl in the house yet?"
Oh, no.
My boss, pale-faced, came straight down to the cowshed to tell me this. Eventually, we arranged for a local kaumatua, Maori elder, to bless the house. 2 elders arrived one afternoon and carried burning herbs through each room, wafting smoke as they spoke in Maori. We walked behind them as they moved from the front door through the whole house and finally back again. Just as they finished, a stream of sunlight came through the open doorway, and for the first time in months, the place felt peaceful. But as we stood there, something happened that I'll never forget. My bedroom was just off the entryway, and as the blessing ended, I felt relief wash over me. Then, my daughter suddenly ran past me into the bedroom. I turned, ready to tell her to come back out, only to realise she was actually in my arms the whole time.
Oh.